ever dated a guy? Yes, I have. See, when I was coming up in Sugar Hill, Georgia in the late 80s and early 90s, things were a little bit more complicated back then. I would take guys to like homecoming, prom, things like that. No big deal. But when I went to college, you know, I was like, whoa, life is great. I found me a little girlfriend. It was wonderful. Actually, it wasn't. It was quite toxic and horrible relationship, really codependent, but I digress. I was home for summer break, my first summer after college, and I was going up to the local track to exercise, and there was this guy that I had gone to high school with, and he'd be up there doing stuff too. Well, I came home one night, and my sister was super excited, and I'm going to call him Chad. That's not his name. And she's like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. And I'm like, what? She said, Chad called, and he wants to go out with you. Now, why was Chad attracted to me? Y'all, I have no idea. That's a really good question. I guess it was those cute little running shorts. The whole family was rooting for me, like, oh gosh, Chad wants to go out with Jerry. This is great. I call my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, my family, you know, this guy wants to go out with me. I try to get out of it, and she's like, well, come up with an excuse. And usually I could come up with excuses. I could be like, oh, the guy's to this or he's to that. But y'all, this guy looked like a Greek god. I kid you not. He was super smart, so I couldn't come up with anything. So I convinced her. I'm like, look, it's going to be fine. He and I meet at local ride share. We go to Applebee's. We're having dinner, and I'm awkward as all get out. I'm a nice person. I could talk to a paper bag, so we're having a good dinner, but you can just totally tell it's going to be like a little friendship kind of situation. We get back to the ride share, and we're sitting in his car, and we're just chatting away, talking about college. Totally friendship kind of level, you know, because I'm awkward and gay. And lo and behold, who pulls up, y'all? My girlfriend. She lived an hour away, and she gets out, and she is fuming, and she bangs on the window, and she's like, get out of the car! Get out of the car! Now, y'all, this guy's, his eyes were as big as Oreos. He doesn't know what to do. He wants to be chivalrous. He's like, gosh, do I save this girl I just went on a date with? Or like, what's going on? Look, it's okay. She's my roommate at college. You know, she's just, you know, kind of acting strange. I promise I'll be fine. So I convince him to leave, and I calm her down a little bit and get her to leave, and I go home. Now, he and I did not have a second date, and we're both happily married. Not to each other, of course. Obviously, I ended up breaking up with that other girlfriend. That's a whole nother story. It was my interesting date with a guy.